Hey friends, what's up? Kaz here, and I'm back this week with a tutorial on the jail plugin. This is going to be my second to last tutorial before I go over the entire jail server build that I'm putting together for you guys to use. I'll have the link in the description to download this. So far, it's about 90% done, and I have a tutorial on every plugin that's used. I'll go over that more in detail once I have it actually ready and uploaded, all that stuff. But yeah, this week I'm going over jail by, oh man, who is it by? What's their, I think it's a group of people. This is a pretty popular plugin. It's very versatile. It's pretty complex because of that, but it's flexible. You can do a lot of different stuff. It's fantastic. Manager and author is Multitude. Very clever name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you set up a jail. Then I'm going to go over what it looks like to get jailed and unjailed, and then we'll go over the permission nodes needed, and then I'll go over the configuration file at the end. Now, the big thing is I'm kind of dumbing this, not really dumbing it down. That's not the word I want to use. I'm using a basic version of it because this is what I've seen on most jail server or prison servers, but it can get more complex and it's can do a lot more than just that. I'll explain different variations along the way, and what you download is what I'm going through here. So the first thing you want to do is you want to start the process of creating the jail. So you want to do jail create, and then you want the name. So I'm just going to do jail. So now it's going to basically walk you through how you set the jail up, and you're going to right click on one section. So be sure that this encompasses the entire jail. There's one feature in this plugin that allows you to specify jail cells, kind of like a real prison server, which is pretty cool actually. I'm not really going to use it, but if you are, be sure that this section encompasses that all of the jail cells that you're gonna do. Just a side note on that one, and then oh yeah, here's our other side of the jail. So now we've created the zone of the jail, or the cuboid, kind of like what you do in World Edit. Now we're gonna go in and show and select the point. Hey, what's up, buddy? Huh. All right, and then we're gonna select where they will be teleported to when they get jailed, and then you select the point where they get teleported to when they're unjailed. So there we go. That is it. That is all you need to create the jail. Now, this plugin allows you to, oh man, my headphones. All right, this plugin allows you to do testing while you're op, which is really kind of cool. So I'm going to jail myself, and then if you're jailing somebody and you don't put a time in here, it's going to jail them for an infinite amount, and that's adjustable in the configuration file for your default time that you set. Now, if you set this to 5 and you want to manually set somebody to infinite, be jailed infinity, that you just put -1 there. We're going to put 1 minute. And then if you need to specify the jail, like you have multiple different jails across your server, you need to do jail hyphen then the jail name. We don't need to do that. If you want to specify the cell that it's going to do, otherwise it'll just be the closest available cell. You got to do the cell name there. You could do the jail name, or otherwise it'll just jail them to the nearest jail there. The other thing is you want to specify the reason, because, or too much awesome. There we go. Awesome. And be sure to put quotes, and it's R:, and then, oh man, reason is too long. Right, we'll just do too much. So I was jailed, and it gives you the reason, and then it tells you, then once you're in jail, you can do jail status, and it'll tell you how long you're jailed for, and who jailed you, and for how long, or why, sorry. So I'm jailed for not very long. My inventory has been taken away. If you're using jail cells, you can have their inventory taken to a box. And then there's another fun little feature. You can set up like a parkour course where they can escape early if they want, which is kind of cool. And then they just kind of walk out here, and then, oh, I have guards turned on. Whoops. I didn't realize that. So this is one of the features, is you can have guards, and if you get killed, you respawn, and then you get you earned an additional 30 minutes. So you can put a parkour course in, let them like try to work their way out. Otherwise, they just they can just wait it out. You can also set up the payment amount, and you can actually set the amount per minute so that they can pay based upon how long they're jailed for. It's kind of cool. I'll show you in the config file later. So let's do unjail me. And now I'm unjailed. Now I get all of my stuff back. Now, as far as breaking out of prison, if you don't have it where their stuff is stored in a box, then they don't get their stuff back when they break out. But they could break out early if you don't have guards turned on. So, few things. If you're a guard, you could do jail check, and then it'll tell you all the people who are in jail, and then you can do jail check player name, and it's going to check to see how much time is left on that person. You can also use commands jail transfer and then old jail name to the new one. It'll transfer all the prisoners in there to the new prison, which is kind of fun. You can also do jail transfer name to the new prison and transfer just a specific person. So that's it for setting it up. Like I said, it's pretty basic what I'm going over. You can get a little more crazy if you do jail create cells. If you want to create the cells and jail create cells, cell 1. And then, oh yeah, you got to do jail name and then the cell name. So then it'll walk you through that, but we're not going to go through that. You can also have signs that show you how long. I like to do the commands. It's just easy and all that business. Maybe if people want to know or are having trouble getting the signs and the cells set up, just put a comment below and I'll probably do a follow-up tutorial. I like to keep my tutorials shorter just to get you up and running. And if a lot of people need help doing that, just put a comment. I'll do a video response on it. All right, so then the last bit is, before we go over the config file, is permission nodes. The admins have jail.command. A lot of different ones. I'll have a link directly to the page that I'm looking at here, as well as on the screen here. And this is pretty much the admins. The user ones are more useful. They're jail.usercommand. Jail status is one, or .jail pay, .jail vote. You can also vote players to be jailed, and then you can also set players to be immune from that vote, which is kind of nice. The other special permission or special thing that you can do is you can set up so that guards have jail sticks, kind of like nightsticks, and they run around with a rose and they attack people, and then they're automatically jailed for 10 minutes or whatever it is you specify in the config file. The users will then need jail.canBeStickJailed to be able to do that one, and then your guards will need jail.useJailStick. Whatever the jailstick name is that you gave it to. Then also, if you have cells with chests in them, you can look at jail.openChest. That's the permission node they need. I probably will actually do a follow-up tutorial now that I think about it, just going over the jail cells, all that stuff, because that's pretty cool and it's a little bit complex. Let's hop over to the config file and go through that. Okay, so now here we are in the config file. It's really long, but I'll try to go through it as quick as possible. Now, here's the selection tool. This specifies that the wooden sword is what you're using to select the jail things. You can also execute custom commands when you're on jail, like if you want that to set them to a certain permissions group maybe, or I don't know, if you want to take a certain amount of money from them for being jailed or something like that. You can then also do delete inventory on jail. You can automatically mute them, and it's gonna teleport them to the nearest jail here. You can have it store the inventory so they get their inventory when they're back out. This is kind of the layout of the sign. I'll go over that in the next tutorial for that. I'll probably annotate a link in here somewhere for that. So can the prisoner open his chest? Yeah, this is pretty much all self-explanatory. Release back to previous position, false. So if you want them to be released back to the exit spawn point, that's the one that you want to be false. Otherwise, they'll just put them back to wherever they were jailed from. Ignore that. Default jail time. This is where I talked about if you want to set it to like 5. You can also change your maximum reason length. That's characters, including spaces. That's pretty much it. All right, so now this one, you can enable the jail stick to be true, and then this is the parameters. So this first part is the item ID. I'm not sure what 280 is off the top of my head. I'm sure I'll annotate it here. This is the block range that they go, the default, the time for that jail stick. The jail name is here. Let's see. Yep, and then reason, and then you can split it to be a different, it's split up by semicolons. So this is one jail stick, this is the next, and so jail stick. So then going back to the permissions, the jail.use jailstick.x, this permission allows somebody for, so then the X would just be the item ID. It's not really a yeah, so that's it. Now, this is where you set up the enable block destroy protection. So if you want them where if they try to destroy blocks, they're automatically added more time, which I think is fantastic. This is where you lay that out. The default penalty for placing blocks, which blocks this is important. Be sure to put any prevent commands so they can't spawn out of the jail or warp out of the jail or suicide themselves, that kind of stuff. I think that's about it. You can have it where enables changes their permissions. You can do that up here in the executed commands on jail as well, or you can do it automatically. There's a note from the author that sometimes this has some problems. So if you're having problems with it, like I said, be sure to test all your stuff out. Now, if you change these commands, like the automatic ones, you want to be sure to go down to the bottom of these messages and change this to from 15, which is the default, to 5, which is what I did. That kind of stuff. Here's where you can set your guards. You can set your guards to 0. That way, I don't know how they didn't get changed. I thought I did, but that's how then you got your guard types, and then here's your jail pay. That's what I talked about earlier. You can have people be able to pay to get out of jail, and then you set a price for being jailed infinitely, and then the currency type in there. So price per minute, that's how that goes in there. That is about it. Like I said, it's fairly complex. I'm using a pretty basic version of it, which I think is awesome. Here's where you can do the jail vote down here, and then broadcast jail message, that kind of stuff. You don't really need to do a whole lot in here, but what I kind of did my little modifications to make it how I saw it fit. I'll do another one where I go over the jail cells and the sign, because I think that's pretty cool. I wouldn't personally use it. It won't be in the jail, in my jail server build, but it's kind of cool. So I'll go over that next. I don't know, maybe I'll do 2 next week or something like that. But anyway, if you found this helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe below. Be sure to subscribe if you want to keep seeing. I try to do these once a week, and I'll keep doing these as long as they're helpful. If you have a suggestion for me to check one out, leave a comment below. If you're an author and want me to do one, leave a comment below, and I'll take a look at it. Once I'm done with these jail builds, I'll be looking for more stuff to go over. So this is Cos from McFriends, and as always, enjoy the game. Oh. There we go. Yeah, there's 700. Oh man. I'm still alive. Are you on a car or no? Did you bail?